Coalbrookdale Iron Museum. Just had a cup of tea, or cup of coffee in there. At the beginning of the museum, they say there's so much detail it's hard to absorb. It's everything in just an hour or so. But
Abraham Darby, a Quaker businessman and brass founder, patented a method of casting iron cooking pots.
Might be Abraham Darby.
He knew this could be a commercial success if only he could find a way of breaking free from
Birthplace of industry, Coalbrookdale.
2 years later, in 1709, after much trial.
Yes, so much information. You could really spend a whole day just here, trying to absorb all this information about the early industrial era, and there's so much to absorb. But I will just point out something this is probably an original window, and I can remember these from. These style of windows from the early houses and factories I worked in back in the 1940s and 50s. This is part of the museum where the kids can not get too bored. This is the great exhibition room. Up there is I can't quite see it, big Victorian bell tower. Chimes on the hour. The great exhibition of 1851 was the famous Crystal Palace, later burned down, was a nice dining table. And this is the actual warehouse, Coalbrookdale warehouse, main warehouse, which now been course converted into a museum. You could spend a month of Sundays in here. It's really very interesting. It's a pity I didn't come round before. There's another shot of the bell tower. There's the museum, Iron Museum, with the refurbished Victorian clock tower, and there's the long warehouse there, and there's an extensive, still used, a railway viaduct. Now I'm going to find my way to the Darby houses. I've just got, I've still got 2 hours left. I can't quite see in this gloomy light. There's a kind of a cast iron fountain and ornament. There's another picture of the long warehouse. There's a group of people appear to be having lots of glasses of orange juice, but they're waiting for dignitaries to arrive. And here's another closer view of the viaduct. You can see all these old brick walls, and which still exist in countless places in the Black Country and Birmingham and Northern England. I'll just have a quick look in this, they call the triangle. There's the Victorian clock tower again back there. And these kind of look kind of excavated. They're excavated industrial revolution remains rather than Roman remains or medieval remains. See what's inside here. See what's inside the building they call the Triangle. It's the base of one of the original blast furnaces. Now, yeah, kind of there's so much information to absorb. You can see I'm the only one here right now, so yeah, there's vast expense really gone to doing all this, and really, yeah, very educational. So just what, watch my step here. Alright. There's the so-called Triangle, which houses the original blast furnace, apparently, the first one of the Industrial Revolution. There's the viaduct. There, still in use, apparently. Okay, through here and up the lane to see if I inspect the Darby. This was probably the water flow that housed the original water mills to power the workings. There's the kind of like pond to hold the water ready to power the Darby house. Somewhere opposite. It's a rather gloomy day, but it's a very pleasant place to visit, really. And here's Dale House, the first of the two Darby houses. So I'll just go in. There's the other house. I'll just go inside here and inspect the premises. And all this was financed by the European Union. So yeah. Up the staircase there. No admittance there, still private property at the top. But here's a bedroom of the early 19th century or late 18th century. Quite comfortable. And there's the indoor plumbing. There is a matter of curiosity. Candlelight. And here is the parlour, ladies' parlour, where they would have their tea and cakes, entertain guests. And through here are the Quaker meeting rooms. The Darbys were Quakers, so yeah. Alright, so I'll just curiosity, there's an example of Quaker dress. Here's a good example of a early Victorian maybe kitchen, and a drying rail overhead. Cast iron grate. Of course, I'm old enough to remember cast iron grates as served as heating as well as cooking. And now here's the display of fashions. And if you're inclined, you can try on one of these dresses. Try on a Quaker costume. think this is Rosehill House, and some more mementos. Another iron grate. Yeah, okay, so there's Rosehill House, and next door was Dale House. Can't quite see it from here. Okay, little information board. Another information about the dingle, walkway, and there is Darby House up there. It's still occupied. Private flats at the top. I'm going now to visit the Methodist church, just the other side of that viaduct somewhere. And on the way to visit Wesleyan Chapel, and these are examples of workers' cottages built by Mr. Darby, still in, some one or two are, and well, they're unoccupied and look as though they need a touch of paint. Alright, so this hasn't been purchased by the Iron Bridge Museum. It's to let, and that's a good view inside the chapel as it is now. That's the outside of the chapel. I'll just go up and have another look. This is the entrance to the Wesleyan Chapel, now closed, of course, and for let. But these gates look as though they might have been forged next door by Mr. Darby himself. They might be the original cast iron gates. Some kind of function going on there, all dressed to the hilt. The one is on telescopic. One last shot of the Victorian bell tower, nearly 4:15. And here's Ingenuity entrance. I won't go in today because, it looks like I could at least spend a couple of hours in there. Looks quite interesting, very interesting display. But my passport ticket allows me to visit at some time in the future.